Thunderball was one of 3 inmates who helped a villain known as the Wrecker escape from prison. He was also there when the Wrecker's powers were reactivated by a bolt of lightning. And due to that bolt of energy, Thunderball received a portion of those powers. Watch yourselves against Thunderball. The man's as smart as he is strong.
You know, something that I think long plays have helped me accomplish, and the fact, I mean, besides it just being a productive way to channel my passion into money, something that long plays have helped me accomplish is getting my serenity back in regards to video games. Like, video games used to make me stressed a little bit, depending on what game it was and how I was playing it, but it wasn't always that way. Back when I first started the channel, every game, no matter how bad it was, I got something valuable out of it. And every game felt like a new, fun world to explore, a whole new experience. And long playing, by virtue of forcing me to play games I normally wouldn't, has given me that back. And now I've taken enjoyment in things that I normally wouldn't have found enjoyable, mostly because, I mean, I have to play them anyway. I might as well have a good time. I guess there was just a sense of wonderment that got kind of dulled along the way, and now it's back. Like, Hidden Invasion wasn't one of my favorite games or anything when I played it, but I had a decent time playing it for the channel. And now I'm worse at it, somehow, but I think I enjoy it even more. I think I've just come to enjoy almost every single video game I play. Like, it's just gotten to that point. And I cannot tell you how great that is. None of this has anything to do with Marvel Ultimate Alliance, by the way, which is what you're seeing on screen right now. Marvel Ultimate Alliance is just good. It's just a good and enjoyable beat-em-up, or action RPG, whichever you prefer to call it. A lot of people would call it an action RPG instead of a beat-em-up. It's very similar to the Fantastic Four licensed games and X-Men Legends. I'm playing as Moon Knight because, well, Moon Knight is playable, so why wouldn't I play as him? You know? Sometimes the shadows really glitch the fuck out. It's kind of cool, though, I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if it has something to do with a Moon Knight's cape. Anyway, this newfound serenity and calmness and enjoyment I get from playing every game now has led me to reevaluate some things. One of the minor ones was, you know, I find Hidden Invasion more enjoyable than I used to. But I also, like, had a really good time playing Trigger Man all the way through. I first played Trigger Man years and years ago, and it really wasn't one of my favorite games or anything like that. But even though I really don't think it's good, I've had such a good time playing it, and I had to play it through 3 times to get all the optional objectives and make the game look presentable for the long play I recorded. So, you know, maybe part of that you could argue with Stockholm Syndrome. I don't think it is, because I didn't have to try so hard to make Trigger Man look good. I didn't have to try that hard. All I had to do was finish the game without dying and make sure I go in the right direction, make sure the video is watchable. But I tried really hard to show off all the mechanics and make the game look good. And I did that out of love. Yes, I know Stockholm Syndrome makes people feel like they're in love. Don't look. Just trust me. It's not Stockholm. It's not. Just trust me. It's not. Speaking of that Fantastic Four licensed game I brought up a bit ago, played that recently. Just 'cause. And it's not as good as Marvel Ultimate Alliance or X-Men Legends, but I still think it's fun. It's kind of mindless, but as you're seeing, Marvel Ultimate Alliance is also kind of mindless, so it's more about the variety and the fun smashing stuff you can do. There's also pretty varied objectives in the Fantastic Four game, honestly. More varied than in Ultimate Alliance. More varied mechanically than in Ultimate Alliance, I mean. And you know, that Fantastic Four game, it broke a lot. I accidentally broke the scripting of the game in a few levels. A lot of the levels had maze-like objectives I was very confused about, didn't know where to go. Sometimes the co-op mode would glitch out and just not function properly at all. There were a couple times where characters started T-posing, and the game wouldn't let me finish a level. But I still enjoyed it. I still had a great time playing it, even though it was very generic video game. I still had a great time with it. It was just fun smashing stuff, I guess. And yeah, I played Sonic 06 again recently, but everyone knows how much I love that. Some really important things I played again, though, would be Sid the Dummy and Deep Black. Now, Sid the Dummy Dizzy played again, and I was just sort of, I was along for the ride, but after playing Sid the Dummy again, Dizzy and I decided that actually it's not bad. I know that's like a really big revelation to anyone who's actually watched my Sid the Dummy Let's Play, but I actually don't think it's a bad game anymore. I don't. I think it's okay to good. It would probably just be good if it weren't for the really awful flying segment. Which, I don't even know if the people who watched the Let's Play remember the flying segment, but I really think it's a pretty competent 3D platformer, and I don't think it's as frustrating as I made it out to be. I feel like, it's easy enough to enjoy if you're a fan of 3D platformers. The voice acting is horrendous, though. Now, Deep Black, this is going to be a tough one, because I kept building up Deep Black as the thing that changed how I view video games and their design, but now I just think Deep Black is actually good. I know, right? But it's true. I actually think Deep Black is a good game now. Yeah, the parts that were frustrating are still frustrating, but they're not frustrating enough to make the game bad. It's like a really competent third-person cover-based shooter with some neat ideas. And the first location is probably the biggest downfall because of how long it drags on. Some of my commentary for the original Deep Black Let's Play was just outright lies. A lot of it was exaggerations, but some of it was just lies, and I think it must have been the salt. I think I must have just been really salty from my frustrations playing the game. Because upon replaying it, a lot of the things I was angry about are mildly frustrating, but they're not that bad. They're not that bad. The game is nowhere near as awful as I made it out to be, or anyone else made it out to be, for that matter. So, pretty competent third-person cover-based shooter. The bosses are not so hot, but the basic gameplay is pretty good. And, story, I still don't like the story, like, at all, but, there's always the possibility I'm missing something. Even though I don't think I'm missing anything in the story, I think the story is just naturally too exposition-heavy, and the exposition just doesn't make sense in context with the narrative. This is not a normal level in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, by the way, so if you're looking at this level and thinking, wow, there are way too many goddamn enemies, and this level is way too long, what is this, Dynasty Warriors? No. There aren't normally this many enemies in a level, and the levels are normally way shorter than this. This is a bonus level. But I need to record the bonus levels anyway for the long play of this game I'm recording, so... And I mean, I like this bonus level. It's a good way to relieve stress, beating the shit out of so many tiny claymen and giant trolls with maces. That's something this game another thing this game shares with Fantastic Four is bonus levels with so many goddamn enemies that take so much longer than the game's regular levels. But I guess, after you finish the game and you just want to hit more stuff, that's what these levels are for. But they have unique scenery and enemy types, so it's just so fucking weird to see. This is some of the most interesting scenery you can see in the game. I mean, I think it looks better than Atlantis, personally. Not that Atlantis looked bad, but... Man, the shadows are all fucked up. So, to talk more about this game specifically, before we stop the video, I want to point out that this game scores you on a few things, and one of those things is points you get from destroying enemies. And in this final room, a lot of enemies spawn. I mean, a metric huge fuck ton of enemies. So you can just smash enemies in here so long to get your score up without any regard for any other scoring metric, and you'll probably get the best rank just from killing all the enemies in here. But yeah, I'm glad to actually enjoy pretty much every game I play again. It's actually good to have that back. I was kind of sad that I lost it. I'm glad it's back now. And Marvel Ultimate Alliance is fun. Probably not gonna be one of my all-time favorite games or anything like that, but there's a lot of punching sounds, and I'm really into that.